Our first speaker for today is Mr. Sanjay Gore. Mr. Sanjay is a senior consultant and speaker on information security, risk management, and privacy, and is currently a principal consultant with Alvin Integrated Services. Mr. Sanjay is going to talk about ISO 31000, 2018 Risk Management System, Framework, and Implementation. The virtual stage is over to you, Mr. Sanjay.
Thank you.
Sorry to interrupt. So before Sanjay ji takes over, just a quick thing which I should have mentioned. Today we are going to have not only some solo sessions, the standalone sessions. We have 5 panels with esteemed speakers. Thank you. Over to you, Sanjay ji.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. It is my pleasure to be on this summit, and I'm lucky enough, fortunate enough to start with my first. So I may be the first lecturer. Actually, what happened is ISO 31000. We'll be seeing in brief about what the standard says, what are the provisions. It is a big thing, but each and every what we are around now reached to 142 participants. All must have worked it. So if you are expert, it is just a refreshing. If you are new, you will learn something new like that. So with your permission, let me start. Let me share the screen and then we can go ahead with. Just a minute. So can you see my screen now?
Yes, we can.
So I shared my screen. Can you see that?
Yes, Mr. Sanjay, we can see your screen.
Yeah. So with your permission, let me start directly presenting myself. Okay. So what happened is this ISO 31000 2018 is a risk management system framework and implementation. This is just an introduction to the standards. There are various standards, and you know, I'm in ISMS system. I think I am audible.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Yes, sir.
Can you see me? I mean, just a minute.
You are both audible and visible, Mr. Sanjay, and we can see the screen as well.
Yeah, good.
Thank you.
Now, only thing is, since this is okay. So, with your permission, now today, actually, we are going to see 31,000. 31,000 is a standard, as I earlier said. If sometime because many people are working on this and they may feel this is what he is telling us. So for them, it is a refreshing. And if you are new, definitely it will be a learning process. So my introduction, Elizabeth has given my introduction, and because of that introduction, actually your expectations may be high. Risk, what happened is 31,000 is there are, there are 1,000 standards for something problem here. So there are more than 1,000 standards which talk about various management system. And 31,000 is not a management system. Actually, it is a guidance to understand anything connected with risk management. So basically, we'll talk about what is risk, and the agenda would be we'll be talking something about various concepts and related with concepts related with the standard, what we understand from that particular word we use for these particular. As Sir Sanjeevan Joshi sir in the morning said, many these actually there is a cohesive meaning for various ISO standards. So if I say risk, it is all the way the definition of risk will be the same. However, the context may differ from understanding the meaning. So here we see what is risk. Normally there is a saying that risk has two things. Risk is a event. Risk is referring to event which may hamper the assets of the company or trades and many that detail we'll see. But risk is an opportunity also. I will give two examples. One is, as Sir Madhusudan sir was telling in the morning, COVID is a risk, definitely, but it is an opportunity for us to develop many things like work from home and this global presentation. Now this is the best example. Now it is reached to 156. At the same time, it is being shown in YouTube also. So more than 1,000 and people are attending this. This is not that earlier we were not doing it, but this is because of COVID. It is multiple. Another example I can give is in the year 2018 and 19, there was some problem in Qatar and Saudi Arabia. Some political some problem was there, and suddenly what happened? Saudi Arabia has stopped suddenly some supplies for drinking water and milk, etc. This is a risk, big risk. It affected Qatar, say, for 2-3 months. There was a scarcity. Everybody was worried. But they have taken an opportunity and now they have established their own drinking water plant, their own milk and other things. And now they are self-sufficient. So this is an opportunity. So here what I'm saying is, when it is a threat, find a way to avoid the risk. Way to avoid, we'll see in risk treatment in detail. Then if it is an opportunity, you have to exploit the opportunity. That, as we have done, or I give that example of Qatar. These are the things where you can, it depends on how you take it. It takes time and you have to learn more other things, alternatives, because we are playing always with an uncertainty. So we don't know when that uncertainty, it is a saying that uncertainty is the only certain thing. So anytime you have to be prepared for that. If it is a risk, you have to treat it. If it is, and find out the opportunity and deal with that. And if it is not in your hand or it is not affordable to go for, then you have to accept as it is. Now we'll see what is edifice of 31,000. Edifice is nothing but you can say based on this only all your structure of 31,000 is decided. So one is principles. There are principles. There is a framework and there is a process. So you might have you may be saying that some gears are roaming above their title. The gear indicates 2-3 things. One is it is a process, it is a protocol, and it is something process going in human brain. So it indicates that. Okay. So what are the principles? There are 5 principles. Then based on the principles, we go for a framework. Framework is established based on principles, and the process are defined and implemented based on the framework. So in a way, I can see that the process depends. The process depends on framework. Framework depends on the principle. Now we'll go in detail, like document. How the document itself is a very small document running into some 70-80 pages. As usual, all standards, first few pages are for defining the terms, references, etc., etc. Then after that, the document of the scope of the standard says that this standard is applicable for managing risk faced by organization. So it is any organization. For example, you go for ISO 27005, which is risk management guidance, but basically it is concentrating on information security risk management. 27005 as a part of 27K family. 27005 deals with any risk management, risk assessment, etc., related with information security. But here, the scope is wider, and the application of these guidelines can be customized for any organization and its context. So, right from oil and natural gas company to banking, to aviation, to insurance, everywhere this can be. It is so open and customizable. So, depending on the context, internal context, external context, and nature of business, nature of controls you have, then all your regulations of the country, law of the land, considering all this together, you can customize your risk management function. So it is very big and comprehensive as far as risk management is concerned. Then it gives a common approach. The document can be used throughout the life. So right from beginning of the, right from the starting the company to the end of company, all whole life cycle of the process or any business or a company, these principles can be applied with. So document is, again, I just repeat, the scope of 31,000/2018 is connected with risk management which includes risk transfer and other things we'll see in detail. And it is across all organization based on their context, internal context, external context, regulation, law of the land, and nature of business. So it is quite comprehensive. Now, in brief, we'll see what are the various terms we used in this area. Okay. Risk. Risk is an effect of uncertainty or of the objective. So risk has to be uncertain. It may happen. Suppose, for example, earthquake. Earthquake is a risk, but it may happen, it may not happen. And affect is deviation from the expected. Then it can be positive, negative, or both. Normally, it is referred to negative things. Whenever I say it is a risk, normally it is referred to a negative risk. Positive risk could be an opportunity. Normally, it is expressed risk source, potential event, consequences, and likelihood. All are considered to be risk. And whenever we are referring to risk, I was in insurance company. Any client or any property which is going to be insured is also called as risk. So risk is variously used by many organizations for many different meaning. But here, as far as 31,000 is concerned, we are referring it as a risk source. Risk source means source from the risk can happen. Then potential event, consequences, and the likelihood. All these are considered to be risk. Most important thing is risk is always a potential event and referring to future. If it happens, then it is not a risk. Risk has to be referring to future. Then we'll see the event. What is event? Event occurrence or a change of particular set of circumstances. For example, event is we are having an electric current coming on, and UPSC was there, and suddenly electric current goes off. That is an event. The risk is the electric current may go off is a risk, but actually event is when it actually goes. Then event can have one or more occurrences, and at the same time it can have several causes. So it is the event could be multiple of 2-3 events, or two, three various events coming together can form one event. And also be something that is expected which does not happen, and which is not expected which happens, means it is away from the expectancy. That is an event. And event can be a risk source, means an event can lead to a risk. So these are actually dry subjects, and sometimes it is for, as I already 2-3 times I said, if you are working in this, you may feel it quite telling the same thing again, but take it as a reference, refreshing. And the title of this summit is having a world of learning. So the knowledge transfer. So what happened is knowledge transfer is possible only after learning. So learning is important, and the concept of unlearning is also there. So if you are very expert and working, so what happened is in our day-to-day practice, sometimes if you ask a chartered accountant or a CPA what is definition of debit and credit, possibly he may not be in a position to tell you, because more years he is working on that and it is very small thing. But sometimes these small things are very important. So now we'll go for consequence. Consequence is an outcome of an event affecting objectives. Then consequence can be a certain or it could be uncertain. Then consequence can be expressed qualitatively or quantitatively. Because sometimes what happened is it is very difficult to express in terms of money. I suppose, for example, your site is not working, URL is not working, and therefore it is non-available for say 10 minutes. Especially suppose banking or insurance site or air booking site is not available for 10 minutes. The event of this is consequence, and which may lead to some loss to the organization, which can be quantified in terms of money, like loss of client. These 10 minutes you cannot do anything, you lost some client, like that. But reputation, loss of reputation, and in that case it is very difficult for you to measure the consequence in terms of money. So in that case it becomes qualitative. And one consequence could be a mother of another event, and that event also may lead to another new risk. So it is a cycle, like event, consequence, risk, like that. It goes on. So one consequence may lead to an event, and that event may lead to multiple risks. So the event may lead to consequence. The consequence again may lead to event. So this is a typical situation. Likelihood is again very interesting, because what happened is likelihood is a chance of something happening. Again, it is uncertain. It may not. For example, I am talking of earthquake. Then in Japan, it could be the frequency could be very big. If it comes to India, western side, it could be relatively less as compared to northeast side, like that. So depending on the location and depending on the history, previous history and data available. Based on that, likelihood can be taken. But once, even if I say once in a month, or even if I say once in a 10 years, I don't know which part of that period that will happen. For example, again, my favorite example of electricity, non-availability of electricity, it is possible that within 24 hours, there will be 10 minutes electricity outage. But I don't know which 10 minutes it is out of these 24 hours. So likelihood is always uncertain. Up to extent you can reach to the certainty, but 100% certain you cannot see. So likelihood is uncertain. Sometimes what happened is English term likelihood does not have a direct equivalent. So what happened is in other languages, this could be seen as a probability also. So most of the cases it is akin to the probability. So likelihood can be probability also. Then we go for next, the control. Control is also very interesting. Control is a, we call it as a PPT, people, process and technology. The controls are actually to counter risk, to counter consequences, to counter the event. So if it is countering the consequences and event, it becomes a another type of control. So basically control is of two, three types. One is detective, preventive, and recovery. So what happened is these all controls are detective first, and depending on the situation, if it is an event, it will be responding. For example, controls include but not limited to any process. That includes internal controls, process, protocols, and your administrative process, laid down procedures, then network protocol, your controls in your applications. Controls may not always extend to the intended or assumed modifying event. So what happened is these internal controls are, I can say, are PPT, people, process, and technology, um, education, then learning, and upliftment of skill, other things are also awareness. All these are also controls. So controls are basically, again I repeat, controls are the measures to combat, to actually mitigate or reduce the likelihood of any consequence or risk or an event. Controls not necessary to be IT controls. There are various administrative controls also. Now we'll go for various principles what we are talking of. First being integrated. So when we are talking of any risk management principles, it should be integrated amongst all business divisions of the company, including your HR, everything, including your based on the various scope and based on the context, that is internal and external context. This approach for risk management principle, it should be integrated amongst all departments. Means if you decide a particular process, it should be applied to all departments and not only IT or not only particular function. And definitely, therefore, it has to have approval of a very senior management. It should be structured and comprehensive. It should have some definitive policy, definitive structure, which can be measured. It should be objective, so it should be auditable. So this structure and it should be comprehensive. As comprehensive refers to integrated approach. Then it should be customized. How it is customized? As I said, this standard applies to all type of business, right from oil and natural to insurance company, from aviation to maybe a retail small shop or like that. So it has to be customized based on example. For example, they are talking of risk management for particular hazard, physical hazard, which may not be applicable for the hazards applicable to your oil and natural action may not be applicable to your organization in aviation. So what happened is, in this case, it should be customized based on the scope, and scope can be defined based on the various context, internal context as well as external context. It should be dynamic in the sense dynamism refer to changes in the circumstances. Dynamism refer to changes in business. So regulation is changed or some circumstances are changed where your nature of business change. This is best example, like Alvin Integrated or Sun Madhu, they are developing various training programs. And they used to call a person like us to their venue and we'll be giving lectures and like that. But now nature of business has changed. So it should be dynamic. So whatever risk assessment you are doing or risk management you are doing for that business will have to change, and you have to again go for risk identification, etc., that we'll see in detail what is the process. But it should be dynamic. It should be available on based the available information. We are going to see various process like brainstorming, Delphi techniques, root cause analysis, etc. Information and whatever decision you are taking. So your decisions based on that will having a fruit. Then inclusive, Then it should be human and cultural factors we have to consider, and then you go for various continual improvement. Now there is another concept which is all your ISO standards and management system procedures, management system protocols, rules, regulations. They are referring to continual improvement. There is a small difference between continuous and continual improvement that will get refreshed in my next slide. This chart on the right hand side is showing what is continuous and what is continual improvement. So difference is continuous improvement, sometimes it is required, sometimes continual improvement is required. The difference is continual improvement means that the organization go through process improvement. So this is referring to when it is continuous improvement, it may refer to other things, but as process is concerned, we require continual improvement in our. Okay. Now, there is, as I said, it works with principles, framework, and process. So now we have seen various principles like this. We have seen various principles like this, and there are 8 principles. Based on these principles, we have some framework. So framework is based on these principles, and we'll see in brief now. Integration, again the same integration, principle of integration. Then it goes for design. It should be designed. I mean, it should have a definitive document kind of or definitive understanding it could be auditable. And secondly, there may not be having 2 different meaning from the same transaction. So it should be designed properly. It should consider everything, your future aspects, etc. Implementation should be, again, it should be definitive, and a proper process and system has to be established. How to implement, who will be responsible. Normally we call it as RACI chart, RACI chart. So that has to be implemented. So you can have key performance indicators, key risk indicators, etc. All should be defined. And improvement, evaluation. Evaluation includes internal audit. It includes review. Review based on periodical review, and you have to learn from that review and again go like that. PDCA it is called as, which is famous for ISO 27001. Plan, do, check, and act, like that. So that PDCA evaluation also has to be there, and based on that, there should be an improvement. So target framework should work on these 5 aspects. Integration. It has to be integrated based on principle of integration. Then it has to be defined. It should be definitive. Then implementation, evaluation, and improvement. Like that. Then
Sanjay,
I'm taking another 5 minutes, madam. We are lagging behind it.
We have a few questions from the audience, and we would like to cover at least 1 or 2 questions before we move.
Yeah. What I'll do is give it 2-3 minutes. I will finish this, and then we can go for questions. Is that okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. The process also, in brief, I'll tell. This is a process. Scope. We have to context, criteria, scope, context, and criteria. And then based on that, we have to go for risk assessment, identification, analysis, and evaluation. Based on these 3, we'll go for risk treatment, then record that, then go for communication and constitution, and then go for monitoring and review. So these all is called as a process. I'll just go ahead with this process and scope. I'll just assume that it is read because of the time consumption. Then I will just in brief, I will say what is risk treatment. Risk treatment is having 4 stages like avoid, mitigate, transfer, and accept. And it indicates, and everybody knows that what is risk treatment. With this, I think we'll see what are the various concept or any process connected with risk assessment. They are brainstorming, Brainstorming is nothing but group creating technique for some ideas, creative ideas. Delphi technique is brainstorming, but having anonymous checklist. Everybody knows root cause analysis is analyzing systematic, and mainly it is for process, and there are like various aspects which are connected with risk assessment basically. So with this, I hope you must have learned at least 1-2% of what, because it is very big area of risk management. And now I am open to questions.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sanjay, for sharing your knowledge on risk management, implementation, and the framework. We can take only 1 or 2 questions from the audience, and I will directly go to the first question that I have out here. It is from Nikita Rana, and she would like to ask you, wouldn't an earthquake be considered as a threat and not a risk?
It is a threat and it is a risk also. It is an event also because it depends on the timing. If I am thinking of earthquake, it is a threat. So I will be thinking that there will be an earthquake at this time. If actually earthquake happens, it becomes an event. And I'm thinking of a threat and managing that threat becomes a risk. So threat and risk is always referring to future, and earthquake can be an event when it happens.
Okay, so I move to the next question. Thank you so much, from Anil Yadav. And it says then, what is the exact definition of risk as per you?
Exact definition, it is difficult actually, because risk, as I said, if I go to my previous this thing, just I will go fast. There are 5 points for risk, and they are referred to like because for the time like this. So in brief, we can say, because risk, if you go to various standards, NIST, the risk standard is different. National Institute of Science and Technology, they have their risk. You go to insurance companies, the risks are different. As far as 31,000 is concerned, I can conclude that it has 4 aspects. One is risk source, where from the risk comes, potential event, it is consequence, and likelihood. Both it called as a risk. So likelihood also a risk. Like she was asking, like what is earthquake? Earthquake could be a source. Earthquake could be potential event. Earthquake could be consequence or likelihood also. So that is my definition. Yeah.
Thank you. Amazing. I will close it with one last question because I found it very intriguing and interesting, again from Anil Yadav. And he asked that we should focus on reducing hazard or overcoming risk. And what is your take on this? So if you could just add in 2 statements on that.
Yeah. We have seen risk treatment. So it should address both. When the risk is avoidable, you can avoid that. For example, earthquake you cannot avoid. COVID-19 you cannot avoid. So what you have to do is you have to be trying to mitigate that. So both efforts. Risk management is just to avoid the risk if it is possible, face the risk if it is unavoidable, try to mitigate the risk, like by transfer, by taking insurance or making some contracts, which your risk can be reduced, which is called a transfer. And up to last extent, you have to accept the risk. So this is the thing what I understood from my learning.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sanjay. As the first speaker for the day, you've set the tone for the day, and round of applause.
It is my pleasure actually. Madam, it's my pleasure. The subject is very big, and all are learned fellows. So telling them very small things, but take it as a refreshing. Take it as a refreshing only. And it is my pleasure to be with. Thank you very much for Alvin, Elizabeth, Madhusudan, and all my colleagues. We are working more than a month now. And now over to